Hello, Ashim here, and welcome back to some more Higurashi When They Cry. Now, when we were finishing off last time, I thought of something, but I was too busy ending it, so yeah, I wasn't able to say it. But I just remembered that from the tip, he didn't call, which means that for some reason he won't be able to call now. Um, they did seem to put a lot of emphasis into that as well, so let's see what's happening, I guess. Did he get attacked in the hallway? Or is she laughing while saying that he was jealous? Opened up the window and pulled out a cigarette even though he was in a hospital room, well of course. Appreciative of how considerate Oishi was, I set out to the lobby to find the phone. The lobby was just a short distance down the hallway from the hospital room. I thought that this hospital was a bit too grand for a village like this, but of course it was nothing compared to the general hospital Yuki was admitted to. Running inside a hospital wasn't the best of manners, but calling hours would soon end, so I dashed over in a hurry. Hmm, there was nobody else in the lobby. It may have been the evening, but there was nobody at the reception desk. Suspicious. Well, this might actually be lucky for me. I wasn't planning to have a conversation to feel guilty about, but it would still be embarrassing to have someone listening to a conversation between me and Yuki. Taking a quick look around, I soon found the payphone. Digging around in my pockets, I grabbed a few coins. I was calling Tokyo from here, so I burned through this amount fairly quickly. I picked up the receiver and inserted a coin, then dialed a number for Yuki's hospital, which I had completely memorized at this point. Where, where, where? The number for Yuki's hospital had a lot of 8s and 9s, so dialing it in inevitably took some time. Just miss it maybe. Normally it wouldn't be a big deal, but currently any time was precious. However, I felt that something was strange as I was dialing in the number. I didn't know exactly how to put it, but it was as if the receiver was too quiet. That unique white noise from the telephone line wasn't there. Somehow, I felt that I wasn't getting any feedback from the phone. Without feeling a response, I hung up the receiver to try again. The coin popped out from a return slot. I reinserted the coin and began dialing once again, but the receiver was still dead silent.
なんだこれ。断線でもしてるのかな。
While I was wasting time like this, the amount I had to spend talking with Yuki shrunk. I began to feel needlessly impatient.
すみません。
I felt the presence of someone on the other side of the glass, so I called out. There was an immediate response, and a man who seemed like a pharmacist came over.
はいはい。どうなさいましたか？
すみません。この電話の調子がおかしくて。ちょっと見てもらえますか。
The man came over and tried testing various things with a receiver pressed to his ear. Come to think of it, this was someone who worked at a hospital, not someone from the phone company. Yeah, but I mean, could be that it's known that this phone acts up sometimes and you just have to hit it or something. Just as I didn't know much about phones, neither would he.
あれ？なんだこれ。
The man held up the cord that connected the phone to the wall. It was completely severed.
なんだこれ。参ったな。
This is a dilly of a pickle, wow.
これじゃ電話会社の人に直してもらわないとどうにもならないですね。電話でしたら事務室のを使います？
I didn't want the people in the hospital around while I was talking.
近所に公衆電話はありませんか。
ここを出て道なりに行くと商店街に出ます。そこのどこかの角のタバコ屋にあったような気がするな。行けば見つけられると思いますよ。
I was dressed in a hospital gown. I was wearing sandals on my feet. My head was wrapped in bandages. Just looking at me, you could tell I was a hospital patient. No matter how you looked at it, I was not dressed to be wandering outside. But that's where the impetuous of protagonist of Youth came in. Uh, Choosing the chance to talk to Yuki for even a little longer, I headed outside in my current state. You should at least tell Oishi, probably. Follow the road to the shopping district. Should be able to find one soon enough. With only those 2 lines as my guide, I ran outside the gates of the hospital. With the village nestled in a valley, when the sun set, it got dark quickly. The sparse streetlights lit up enough to start attracting moths. The Higurashi, knowing the time for their chorus was soon at a close, redoubled their fragile cries. And we all know from the previous chapters of this game, nothing bad happens when the Higurashi are crying. No. Finding the payphone wasn't as easy as the person at the hospital had suggested. Was it still up ahead? Did I miss it already? Was I just getting farther away? Just as I was about to be crushed by the wave of uncertainty towering over me, I found a shop on the corner with cigarettes written on a small sign. My joy spurred me onwards. Just as I had heard of a hospital, set next to the counter of the cigarette shop was an antiquated payphone. I wasn't wearing a watch, so I didn't know what time it was. I probably didn't have much time left though. But it was enough. Just as long as I could tell Yuki my job was done and I would be coming home soon. Picking up the receiver, I slid a coin down the slot. But I felt that something was strange, just like at the hospital. Even after inserting the coin, the phone showed no response. I hung up the receiver and tried putting in the coin one more time. But there was absolutely no response. This phone was dead. It couldn't be. Thinking that, I felt along the cord that protruded from the back of the phone. Doing that, my hands found the end of a completely severed line. What is this? Having now had the same thing happen twice, my bafflement was accompanied by a sense of unease. So, there's a possibility that this is targeted at them, but it might also just be them trying to sever connection to the outside world, maybe? Perhaps? It seemed that the cord had been severed cleanly by a sharp blade of some sort. I may be mistaken, but it didn't look like much time had passed since it was cut. Yeah, you should hurry back to hospital.
すみません。すみません。
Opening up the booth window of the tobacco shop, I looked for someone in the dimly lit interior. Eventually there were sounds of somebody plodding down some stairs, and an old lady appeared. The old lady's plodding and lethargic steps, for some reason, only served to make me more frantic.
タバコですかいね。小さまでねんと、わがねのしゃ。
タバコを買いたいわけじゃないんです。この電話が。
Realizing that saying the phone was broken and asking them to take a look at it was going to get me nowhere, I swallowed back my
この電話が壊れてるみたいなんで、別の公衆電話があるところを教えてもらいたいのですが。
The old lady moved her jaw up and down slowly as if chewing on the meaning of my words. It seemed that she wouldn't understand until she had digested things thoroughly.
電話、壊れてますかいね。そんな難儀だわ。他の公衆電話を当たってください。
The old lady directed me to another payphone that seemed quite a ways away. Her way of telling me was so long-winded that I inadvertently started to get impatient. At that moment, I spotted a clock in the dim interior of the store. The minute hand was just about to point straight up. Even if there was a phone right here that I could use, I would only be able to tell Yuki good night with the time I had left. On top of that, my destination was a remote payphone, which I didn't know the exact distance to. If I was of a normal state of mind, deciding to give up the phone today would have been the natural thought process. But at that moment, I'd become somewhat stubborn for some reason. Unable to use the phone in the hospital, coming out here and still being unable to use one. There was no mistaking that I'd become quite insistent on using a phone.
どうもありがとうございます。その電話ボックス、探してみます。
And also, maybe just like the big old head injury. Refusing her offer to draw me a map, I left the tobacco shop. According to the old lady, even though the phone booth was quite far away, it would be easy to find. If I just followed this road straight down, I'd eventually find it. Sandals flapping as I ran, I couldn't help but laugh at myself. I'll admit that I was quite steadfast about calling Yuki, but there were days when I was tired or busy when I wouldn't call her. Even today, my entire body was covered with injuries, and I was dead tired. On top of that, there wasn't much time left. It wouldn't be strange at all if today was one of those days I didn't call her. But, having twice been foiled trying to call her, had I become hot-headed about it? Was I like a dog who was being told to stay with a piece of food dangled in front of my face?
何やってんだろうな。
Getting yourself killed, perchance? Even so, I somehow couldn't quell the uneasy feeling sitting in the pit of my stomach. It was like that with the hospital phone, and the same with the one at the tobacco shop. Both cords were definitely not severed from being frayed off by long years of use. The clean cuts indicated that someone had taken something sharp and deliberately cut them. But who, and for what reason? The more I thought about it, the more uneasy I felt, so I tried to push the thought aside. How much had I run so far? The scenery around me was no longer that of a shopping district, with residential buildings scattered about the lonely road. The surroundings had already grown dark. I was blatantly out too far for a quick phone call, and it was quite obvious that I was far removed from the hospital. I recalled the clock I saw at the tobacco shop. It might almost be time. I had run for quite a bit, so my breathing had grown quite ragged. If I just wanted to hear Yuki's voice, I should have thrown away my reservations and borrowed the phone in the office. I regretted it a little. Well then, was it about time to give up? Just when I thought that, I saw the light in front of me. I had finally found it. It was a phone booth. It seemed that the light of the phone booth had recently been changed, as it shone with a vivid white light. Couple of things which have happened recently, and it all seems to point towards this phone booth. Although in the gloom of Himazawa, it was nothing more than a gathering spot for moths. But, in any case, I had finally found it. As my hand touched the door of the phone booth, I realized that I was breathing and sweating heavily. I didn't know what time it was right now, but even if it was just for a moment, I might be able to get in touch with Yuki. Since I'd spent all this effort getting here, turning back without even giving it a try was out of the question. Before I picked up the receiver, another wave of uneasiness washed over me. I was worried that this phone cord might be severed as well. How was the cord in this phone booth? Squatting down, I followed the bundles of cables as they ran along the corner into the ceiling. At a glance, nothing was out of the ordinary. I ran my fingers as far as I could along the line to check it out. The only thing they found was a thick layer of dust. Nothing out of the ordinary. I wondered if it was popular in Himazawa to cut the cords of payphones as some sort of tasteless prank. It might be prudent to talk to Oishi-san about this later. Even if it was nothing more than a prank, it was still vandalism of public property. In any case, this one was fine, this time. Pulling out a coin from my pocket with one hand, I picked up the receiver with the other. But this time, before the receiver even reached my ear, I felt something was off. The receiver was light. It was more than a slightly unpleasant feeling. It felt almost sickening. To verify the source of my displeasure, I peered at the receiver in my hand with a measure of reluctance.
なんだよ。これ。
The coiled cord that connected the receiver to the rest of the phone had been ripped apart, the tip of the cable swaying in the air. It was all I could do to restrain myself as a raw and unpleasant feeling worked its way up the small of my back. It was a type of dread. At that moment, I heard the crunch of somebody stepping on gravel. The light was reflecting off the glass walls of the booth, leaving me unable to see outside into the darkness. I steeled myself and stepped out of the phone booth. The inside of the booth was lit with that strong light, which might have made it warmer in there. Just stepping outside, I could feel a chill wash over me. And there was the silhouette of a person. A small silhouette. Rika?
君は
The long hair of that silhouette was blown about by the cool breeze.
怪我人が病院を抜け出してはいけないのですよ。
He didn't exactly sneak out. And why is she out here? Somewhere in my head, I knew who this girl was. I didn't have any basis for it, but I knew that she was that girl.
ねえ、赤坂。
She, Rika Frude, said that almost like it was a warning.
君が電話のコードを
Her expression remained unchanged. My question was left unanswered. In other words, no response. Regardless, I felt that she had affirmed my suspicions.
どうしてこんなことをするんだどうして
The last word had a tinge of anger behind it. I frantically tried to smooth things out, but she didn't seem to be very afraid.
もうどうにもならないことです。
Yeah, my thoughts too. What? I interpret her words as meaning that I wasn't going to be in time for calling hours at the hospital. But thinking about it, that would have been a strange thing to say. Why would she know something like that? I could take what she had said to have any other meaning. She just stood there like a mannequin, not even moving an inch. Almost to the point that if the wind wasn't occasionally rustling through her long hair, there would be the illusion that time had stopped.
赤坂が私を気味悪く思っているのがよくわかる。
ああいやそんなことないよ
My denial came out almost like a bad piece composed for a poetry slam. But her words were right on the mark. I had always felt something ominous and uncanny about her, ever since her strange threats at the shrine. She had noticed that my expression was contrary to my words, seemingly laughing at the gap between them.
赤坂の怖がり。
怖がってなんかいないよ
Being laughed at by the small child didn't sit well with me. So I said that.
もう電話を探しても手遅れの時間です。
そうだな
She didn't even have to say it. I was absolutely too late. I might have already missed calling hours even by the time I reached this phone booth. I was too late. I had no option but to give up for today. Once I had decided that, my unhealthy obsession with phones suddenly faded. Even I thought that it was strange that I was that obsessed. That strange obsession now gone, I began to laugh at how hopeless I was. I mean, just look at what I was wearing. It wasn't normal. A hospital gown and sandals, my head wrapped in bandages, and my body completely soaked in sweat. It was a wonder that the old lady at the tobacco shop wasn't surprised to see me. With wanting to hear Yuki's voice as my motive, I had traipsed around the town the entire evening. I didn't know whether to call it the follies of youth or simply plain embarrassing. In any case, it was all I could do but to laugh at myself.
もうこれで今夜赤坂がすることは何もないです。
そうだなもう何もないよおとなしく病院へ引き上げるさ
それがいいのですよ。病院への道はわかりますですか？
Just follow her
わか
road.
るつもりだよ
She waved her little hand as I began to head back the way I came. She began to follow alongside me. What is going on now, I wonder? Looking at her face, I could see that she wore a mischievous smile. as if she was extremely interested in whether or not I would get lost.
リカちゃんの家もこっちの方向なのかい？
なのですよ。
こんな時間に一人で表を歩いてると、ご両親に怒られたりしないかい？
別に怒られませんです。今日はご両親は忙しい日なので、僕のことなど忘れていますですよ。
それでも帰った方がいい。きっと怒るよ。
それでも赤坂とおしゃべりする方が面白いのでいいのです。
She said that with a face free from worry as she looked up at me once more and smiled. When she showed me that smile, the eerie feeling surrounding her faded. But even then, she was still as mysterious to me as ever. We arrived at the corner I had turned at earlier, but it was much darker than before. With the point of view changed on the return trip, I wasn't very confident that this was actually the corner I turned at. There was no mistake. It had to be this corner. As I began to move my feet again, the girl grabbed onto my clothes.
赤坂は病院へ戻るのではないのですか？
Is she gonna lead him somewhere else?
もちろん戻るつもりだよ。道間違えた？
Short moment of silence. Eventually, still holding onto my clothes, she began to walk. It was at the beginning of the walk to the hospital this mysterious girl would take me on.
電話のコードを切って回ってたのリカちゃんだろ？ダメだよ、もうしゃ。
僕には何のことかよくわかりませんのですよ。
本当にかい？
She tried to play dumb, but it was written all over her face.
ニパー。
It was obvious she was trying to laugh it off. That adorable smile of hers just made me want to forgive her. I'm going to be a horrible father, aren't I? That momentary lapse in tension was erased by her next words. Heh.
孫、無事に見つかってよかったです。
Unable to respond right away, I sunk into silence. I had already learned this from Sato-san's info, didn't I? This girl, no, this entire village, knew everything since the moment I set foot in it. I considered playing dumb, but in the end I chose not to. With everything being known already, there was no point in me feigning ignorance.
なんとかね。
それはよかったです。これで東京に帰れますですよ。
ありがと
赤坂の怪我はひどいのですか？
う。さあ、ひどいのかどうか、医者の診察を聞いてないからわからないな。
Huh? Come to think of it, I vaguely remembered being told to lie down and take it easy for at least 24 hours. Did that mean bed rest?
怪我人は病院を抜け出してはいけないのですよ。
Again, he didn't sneak out, he very brazenly walked out the front door.
電話のコードだって切っちゃいけないんだぞ。
みー、僕には何のことやらわからないのです。
じゃあこっちだって何のことかわからないや。
As we played dumb with each other, we both laughed at the same time. If somebody saw us laughing at each other like this, it would probably bring a smile to their lips.
赤坂が生きてこの村を出られる確率は決して赤坂が生きてこの村を出られる確率は決して高くありませんでした。僕は赤坂に死んでほしくはないので、生きて村を出ることができて嬉しいです。
リカちゃん、最初っから私の正体は知ってたんだろ？
She said nothing, but gave a firm nod.
なら分かっていると思うけど、私たちはこの村のどちらかというと 敵の部類に入ると思う。なのに君はいろいろと忠告してくれたね。
That's right. She said it at the time. She wouldn't warn somebody that she was okay with dying. She definitely said something like that.
なら、私は君に感謝するべきなのかもしれないね。
感謝した方がいいのですよ。僕は命の恩人なのです。
Saying that, she puffed out her chest proudly. She said it jokingly, but the meaning behind those words was quite heavy. That was because whether I lived or died was a decision that might have been made in a place unbeknownst to me. She said those words with such an adorable smile that it took a few moments of silence for their weight to settle in. I'd been to this place before. The Defense Alliance office was there. It was the stone steps leading up to the Furude Shrine. When I passed by before, I was so focused on finding a phone booth, I hadn't realized where I was.
確か、この神社がリカちゃんの家だったよね。
まあ、そんなものです。
Looking up at the shrine grounds. It was brightly lit and energetic voices could be heard. What was going on?
今日はお祭りの日なのですよ。
No. Oh. It is, surely. Is it Washinagashi?
お祭り？
ひなみ沢村の唯一で一番のお祭り。綿流しのお祭りです。
Ooh. Ooh.
綿流し？
祭りなんて名ばかりのつまらないものですよ。見ますですか？
She asked bluntly. But seeing that I looked interested, she climbed up a couple of steps and motioned for me to come. I was only going to go back and sleep anyways. If I had nothing else to do, it might not be a bad idea to go with her on a little detour. I think at the beginning, like the very start of this chapter, he mentioned that he'd only been with Oishi for 4 days, and I think this is the 4th day, I think, or maybe the 3rd, but yeah, in any case, he probably won't be staying around for the murder. The hostile territory that was this village. I didn't know what would happen if I ventured down a side road without Oishi. Even though I thought of a village like that, when I was with this girl, I forgot all about it. In any case, even without anything to back it up, I felt that as long as I was with her, none of the ill will from the village would befall me. That's why, even though I knew my cover was blown, I strangely had no qualms about setting foot into the heart of the Onoguchi Defense Alliance's territory. Climbing up to the grounds of the shrine, I could see that there were about 3 pavilions set up, with meeting tables and folding chairs. The old folks from the village, no, the executives of the Defense Alliance, were already quite drunkenly sharing another round of drinks. I could only see it as people from the village council drinking while enjoying the evening air. At the very least, it was certainly quite different than any festival I'd ever seen.
ね。つまんないお祭りでしょ。
これは確かにお祭りには見えないね。
大昔からずっと続いてきたお祭りですが、見ての通り、すっかり寂れてしまったのですよ。
As if to chide the old folk, she said that while looking at them with an exasperated expression. You really couldn't call this a festival anymore. It was just a bunch of neighbors getting together to drink under the guise of a festival.
これじゃ祀られる神様も気の毒だな。
こんなみっともないお祭りも、5、6年もすると村中が総出でやってきて。
Indeed it will. But how will you know?
ちゃんと儀式も真面目にやる立派なお祭りになるのですよ。
Is that why her parents die? So that she can take over, in effect? Huh. And I'm guessing that she somehow already knows. So yeah, this is, again, Rika being a bit weird, but in any case, that's half an hour, so I hope you all enjoyed. Let me know any feedback you have in the comments. Until next time, see ya.